Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Camille, and today I'm going to be doing the December 2019 reading for the sign of Scorpio. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about you guys' planetary action before I get into the reading. So, you guys didn't have very much. It's just you had Mercury in your sign until December 9th. So, from December 1st to, well, before that, but as far as for the month of December, you had Mercury in your sign. So, I feel like for some of you guys, especially towards the beginning of the month with Mercury in your sign, you wanted to communicate your truth. You just wanted to communicate more about what you've been thinking, how you've been feeling, and sort of just communicate better with people and communicate more with people. That's pretty much it. I can't really think of anything else as far as Mercury, just communication. And sometimes communicating more fun and light, basically, and living in your truth as well. So yeah, anyway, before I was doing you guys' reading, I was meditating on your energy, and then I saw somebody underwater, and they were like swimming underwater like a diver or something, and then they were like facing a shark, like a shark came directly their way, and then the shark like smiled at them and showed like all their teeth, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And the person was scared at first, but then I feel like they were becoming less scared, or they were figuring out like what to do. I don't feel like the shark attacked them or anything, but I didn't get that far. It just kind of, that's what I saw in the image. So I feel like maybe some of you guys are facing your fears. That would definitely be something, facing your fears, or facing something that you feel like is scary, or maybe someone that you feel like is scary. I also see that, I also saw an image of somebody at a carnival, like they were at the carnival, but it was nighttime. And so they were like looking at all the lights and stuff, and they thought it was like so cool or so pretty. And they were like really excited to like get on rides and stuff. So I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I guess we'll see as we get into the reading. That may mean something directly for you. And I also saw, I can barely even read my own handwriting. Give me 1 second, hold up. Somebody walking down the street, and it was like the street, it was like first it was daytime and then it was nighttime. It was the same street. They was walking down that street. So I feel like it has something to do with like night and day for you guys. Like maybe some of you like may transform from a different person from night and day, or yeah, it's like you walk the same street, but in the morning is different than when you walk it at night. Like something is different. It's something having to do with night and day, or the sun and the moon. So we'll see as we get into the reading what that could possibly mean. Or if you guys already know what it means, then you know what it means. So anyway, I see that some of you guys need to work on your maturity. I feel like, especially when it comes to taking action. So I feel like some of you guys may, if somebody bothers you or if something bothers you, you may like be hot-tempered or quick-tempered, basically. Or you may just, I feel like it's something like you do things quickly, like when it comes to your emotions, or when it comes to even anything, like maybe you be like hopping from job to job, or hopping from one thing to another thing, or hopping from one person to another person. But you do this a lot. You're the type of person who would go from relationship to relationship, like when you get bored, or job to job when you get bored, or just because you just don't want to be. It may not even be that you get bored. Most likely it is that you get bored, but it's just like you hop from one thing to another thing. And I feel like you guys need to work on your discipline, like to stay in one place so that you can see the growth of that. I do feel like for some of you, this is like in your love life, you might hop from relationship to relationship and you leave quickly because maybe you don't feel like you want to get hurt, or you feel like if you allow yourself to be that vulnerable, you don't never see where it go. You'll never let the relationship go for long enough to see where it could go or where it could grow. And I feel like some of you guys need to work on that. And if it's for like a job or something like that, then you also need to work on that, because maybe there's some things that you have done that you actually did like, but you never stayed there for long enough to see. Even if it's a creative project or something like that, you never stuck with it for long enough to see the growth in it. And if I feel like if you haven't been seeing the results in your relationships, like you haven't really had nothing serious, but you kind of want something serious, but you're afraid, like, well, you're not going to see no results that you want to unless you decide to actually like stick with a person. Or the same thing for your jobs or like creative endeavors. If you don't stick with it, you don't know how far it could go, because you never stuck around to see. I also see that some of you guys, I feel like you're going through a new cycle, that you have grown. And yeah, I feel like this is directly tied into what I was just saying. It's just like different cycles in your life, but it's time for a new cycle where basically you're going to create some stability in a relationship or a job or a business or a friendship, or stability wherever. But you have to participate. Like, you have to give in order to get. You have to consistently give energy to those types of things if you want them to grow. And that requires you to be a new person, really. It's like a new cycle in your life where it's time for you to change. Because I feel like it's going to bring you things that you want, like more stability in your life, because you just kind of been all over the place. But you know, like, it's okay to be all over the place, and you can be that type of person, but eventually in some parts of your life or some areas of your life, you know, the universe is going to intervene and be like, okay, well, it's time for you to slow down now. Like, you're doing too much of this and you don't have no kind of grounding. You need to get grounded, or you don't have no type of stability, basically. So I see that for some of you, it's time for that now. It's a new cycle in your life. If it hasn't already been happening in December, I definitely can see this carrying over into January, into the new year. But I definitely see, like, if that's how you've been before now, like, yeah, I don't think that's going to be able to last for too much longer without some repercussions, basically. That's pretty much what it is. We all go through cycles in our life, and that's just what time it is. Let's see. Yeah, so definitely January, February, March. From now, probably all the way until March, this is what you guys are going to be needing to work with. This new energy, becoming a new type of person who's creating some kind of stability in your life. I also see that some of you guys have been, I think you've been starting to really like notice insecurities about yourself. You've been starting to notice things that you really don't like, you know, like about yourself. I would say insecurities. And I think that you really starting to realize what you're afraid of. Maybe that was why I saw that vision of that shark and it was smiling at you. And I feel like, first of all, it's good to know, it's good to be educated, it's good to know about what it is that you're afraid of so that you can conquer it. What it is that you don't like about yourself so that you can change it. Maybe some of you guys are also figuring out, yeah, it's like things that have been in the dark are coming to light. And I feel like it's really just perception. It's like, if you can observe it, which I feel like most of you guys are doing, if you can observe it and really realize, like, okay, this is what I want to change about myself, or this is a habit of mine that I don't like. If you can observe it and just know that it's a perception, like, okay, this is how even if it's just like insecurities, especially insecurities, because habits are more like, okay, they're habits, and then you just, once you know, then you can start to change them. You can start to, catch it and then like, you know, change your behavior. Basically be more flexible within your everyday habits. Like, okay, instead of doing this, I'm gonna do that, or whatever it is. Like, you can change it. But when it comes to your insecurities, this is just the way that you perceive yourself. So I feel like some of you guys are going to need to detach from what you think about yourself or insecurities about yourself. Like, if you feel like, because these are more set in stone things, or these are more things that we feel like are more like solid. So like, if you feel like I'm fat, or I'm ugly, or my ears are big, or like I'm lazy, or I'm whatever, like it could be a lot of different things, anything that people don't really care for about themselves. Or I don't know how to sing, I don't know how to dance, or whatever it is. Like, those things, it's just a perception, because really you can change any of those things. And it's like, if you can detach from those things, I feel like if you can be like, you know what, no, I'm not that way. And even if I was that way in the past, I decided that I'm going to change that about myself, and I'm also not just going to think that about myself anymore. So anytime I do have those thoughts, I'm going to redirect myself to what I know that I am. It's like knowing it before you even are it. Kind of working with what is that called? Quantum physics. Maybe some of you guys are interested in that, or you should look up that, or like the 2-cup method, or what quantum physics is. I also see that some of you guys, okay, so this is where I need to talk about what other things that you guys got going on in your chart. When I talk about these astrology things, this is for somebody who is a Scorpio rising or ascendant, or has Scorpio in their first house. And if you don't, this reading would still relate to you in some way, shape, or form, most likely. But as far as the planets and where they're located, then you need to just find your ascendant sign or your first house sign. So anyway, you guys basically have Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter in the 3rd house, Uranus in the 7th house, and Chiron in the 6th house. I feel like because Chiron's in your 6th house, the planet of it's the wounded healer. It's the planet of healing deep wounds. And the 6th house is service to others and your health and your day-to-day activities, your day-to-day life. I feel like some of you guys are really starting to realize that you are not doing the type of thing that you want to do, like serving your purpose, like not just having like a regular job or a 9-to-5 or something that you just doing for the fuck of it, or just because to make money. Like, when Chiron's in there, is healing those types of things. So if you've been working or putting your time and energy into something that isn't really aligned with who you are or what you really want to do, and it's just for the sake of making money, it's going to be time to heal that and really just start making a contribution to the world. Like, really start serving your purpose, really start like learning. And your purpose would be like what you feel in your heart, what you want, what you really like. Basically, if you had enough money, let's take that out of the equation. If you could be anything that you wanted to be, or do anything that you wanted to do, what would you do? Or who would you be? Or what would you be as an occupation? Like, some of you guys need to ask yourself that question, because whatever that is, I feel like that's exactly what you need to be working towards. And I mean, like, anything. Like, don't think small in this question. Like, think big. What would you be, or who would you be, or what would you do? Because I feel like that's, some of you guys just need to, how do I say this now? You just been working to make money, and okay, so I feel like some of you guys, what you want to do, you feel like somehow like almost like you too good for it. Like, it would be like a downgrade, or it's like you too proud to leave, to stop doing what the work that you've been doing, to just go do what you really want to do. Like, you too proud. Like, you just, it's a big change. And I feel like it just got something to do with your pride and your ego, for sure. Because whatever it is that you really want to do, you feel like people are going to look at you funny, or they're going to look at you different, or judge you differently, or whatever. And I feel like you need to let that go, because it's not about what people think, and it's not about any of that. It's about you serving your purpose and you following your heart and being true to yourself and living in your truth, because that's what you come here to do. You don't come here to be a coward. You don't come here to live your life based off of what other people think about you, because that does not matter. The only opinion that matters is yours. Your opinion is the most important opinion that there is in your life, because your opinion and your thoughts and your beliefs and your perception of yourself really actually creates your reality, and it also creates what you attract to you. I also see that some of you guys So I feel like maybe if you want to do something new, you need to start working towards it. So maybe you need to start going back to, like, whatever you want to do, whatever you're trying to get accomplished, you need to start on it now, even before we get into, before we get into January. And maybe you have been starting to work on this, but from what I can see, most of y'all have not. But I feel like whatever it is that you want to accomplish, whatever it is that you want to learn, whatever skills it is that you want to learn, whatever kind of person you want to be, now you need to start working on yourself, because I feel like up until now you really haven't been. You need to start working on whatever type of knowledge that you're trying to acquire to do something. Or just start working on something at all, because it's like once you work on something, a project or train for a job or something, it's like as you're doing it, the experience gives you the knowledge. That is exactly what it is for you guys. You need to start doing something so that you can gain the experience, so that you can be better and better at it, and eventually just master it. I also see that some of you guys need to start working on being more empathetic as a person. So that's basically like somebody being empathetic is caring about yourself and other people. Not just caring about yourself, actually caring about other people as well. So you maybe need to work on that quality of yourself, because maybe you've been a little bit self-centered up until now, and you need to start caring about other people, because that matters too. I feel like you need to be caring about people in the way that you want to help them, in the way that if somebody is talking to you about their day, that you actually listen to them and you actually pay attention to them. If you are in a relationship with somebody or whatever with somebody, that you care about what they are going through. Yeah, I do just feel like you guys need to work on your character, like building up your character to be more of like a solid person, or like somebody who is more stable, even in your emotions. Like what I was talking about earlier, because I feel like a lot of you just been jumping from place to place or person to person, and it's just like you don't give a fuck about nobody else's feelings. And now it's time for you to work on that. Like, it's not just about you, it's about other people too. Now, it's not like, you know, that shouldn't determine your life, but you shouldn't be heartless. That's the point. Like, you need to start working on building your emotions. And I feel like the reason why you're this way in the first place is because something in the past where you got hurt or something, and so you don't allow yourself to be vulnerable enough to care about other people, because you feel like if they let you down or something, then they're gonna hurt you. It's just about basically you getting hurt, but that's selfish as well, because it's like you're gonna get hurt at some point. You really cannot avoid that. Even if you feel like you can, the universe will check your ass at the door. I also see that some of you guys, yeah, I feel like you just not, even your surroundings, some of you guys, like, your environment is really not supportive of what you're trying to do, or you're in a lot of drama, or you've been just dealing with a lot of things, like maybe in your home, or maybe with your family or something like that, and it's basically like time for you to move on. For some of you, it's time for you to straight up move. Like you might want to do something like volunteer work, or just do some type of job or something somewhere else in a different location. And I think you guys are going to start realizing, like, I haven't been really moving towards where I want to. Saturn and Pluto as well, in your third house, deal with communication, day-to-day activities, and siblings. So maybe for some of you, you realize something is going on with your siblings, like they're sick, or they need your help or something. Somebody needs you somewhere, even if it's not your siblings. But I feel like if it is something to do with your family, it would be your siblings. And you realize, like, I need to go help them. I need to go, like, move here and help them and be with my family. I also feel like if it's not that, then it's just like, I need to go here and do a job. I need to go here and volunteer. I need to go here and be of service. Because that's going to bring a lot more peace in your life. And peace within yourself, because you actually align with what you're supposed to be doing here. I feel like some of you guys also, I feel like you're starting to realize your worth. So some of you have been realizing your worth and your value. And for some of you, what you have that is a gift is that the ability to make people laugh. Like, you're a very funny person. You could be a comedian or something like that. And I feel like maybe you haven't been working with that, because I feel like it's something that you have that's super valuable. And yeah, it's the ability to make people laugh for some of you, because laughter is like medicine for humanity, for real. Like, sometimes we can get so serious and bogged down by like all of our responsibilities and so much shit that be happening, and it's like laughing just takes all of that away, and it just helps lighten up the mood. And I feel like some of you guys need to work with that for real, because you can build stability in your life from that. Maybe you kind of haven't been doing nothing with that, but I feel like, yeah, maybe it's time for you to record some videos, or get on YouTube, or get on Instagram, or go to some stand-up comedy stuff or whatever. But I feel like what you have is important, and you had the ability to also like nurture people, care for yourself and care for others. But I feel like for some of you, you are a solid person though, for real. Like, you're a pretty solid person, and people can depend on you. And maybe you might be like even the head of the household, but like, you're a very funny person. And I feel like if you can allow yourself to dabble into that some more, like, you can create some prosperity for you and your family, or just, if it's just you, then you. But I feel like this is more what, like, your family as well. I also feel like some of you guys need to realize that even though if your outside world is, now you guys, this is the 8th house stuff. This is some psychology stuff, but this is some being able to transmute energy, which you guys are familiar with generally anyway. But if you're not, okay. So even if your outside world is shaky, even if it's not exactly how you want it to be, if you can, it's about perception. I was just telling you that earlier. Like, if you can remain calm, like, emotionally, because your emotions, your thoughts and your emotions definitely attract things into your reality, what you're thinking and what you're feeling. Now, what you're feeling is based off of what you're thinking. So if you feel like your outside is a horrible mess, there's too much drama, there's too much shit going on, it's just all unstable, and you feel like that in the inside, you feel depressed, you feel sad, you feel scared, you feel whatever you feel, then you're going to attract more of that into your reality, basically. Like, it's just, how do I describe it? It's like, it's just how the universe works. I just feel like some of you guys have to realize this, or are going to realize that if you perceive your outside of just things going on, because you know what, things just gotta happen. It gotta happen, and that's just how it is. Shit happens. But you can still stay calm in the inside, and you can still control your emotions, even though things on the outside may not be exactly how you want them to be. You can transmute that negative energy. You can change your outside. You can literally manifest. You can create beauty on the outside with your inside. And some of you guys might realize this, because you know you are a water sign, so you are deeply connected with your emotions. And if you realize, like, no matter what's going on the outside, I remain calm in the inside, because I know that nobody controls that but me. Nobody can touch the inside but me. Nobody can make me mad, sad, happy, angry. Only I allow them to do that. And it's about, like, you know, empowerment, like having, because you have that power, and realizing that, like, if I do that, no matter what's going on my outside, I can create what it is that I want to on the outside. Like, especially because you guys be feeling deep emotions a lot of times. So it's like, feel deep emotions of positivity, feel deep emotions of faith, because like you can really change your outside. It's actually a really beautiful gift that you guys have if you tap into it. I also see that some of you guys you might be delaying starting something new or taking a new leap of faith. I just keep seeing this. So it's like, okay, so with you guys' work, or with you guys' relationships, or with you guys' creative endeavors, whatever the hell that you want to start, if it's a relationship, creative endeavor, work, whatever, maybe you guys have been delaying it for a while, like taking a new leap of faith on something, but it's time for you to do it. It really is time. Like, you need to use your will to push you forward, and also your vision. So like what it is that you want to see. Like, if you see yourself with a person happy, or if you see yourself in this career field happy, or if you see yourself with this amount of money, or if you see yourself in this place, or if you see yourself working on this project, or whatever it is that you see yourself, you need to like really start to visualize it and focus on it. For some of you, you can make some vision boards, or start to hang stuff around your area that you are in all the time, your house, wherever. But I feel like focus on it, and then now you had to use common sense. It's like, if you want those things, you know that you have to go after it. Like, it's not going to just fall in your lap. So I feel like you guys need to realize, like, okay, I might be taking a leap of faith, but I know how these things go, or you got to be some type of practical about it. Basically, you had to have some type of common sense. Like, you know, you're not just thinking like, oh, I'm just going to start this and I'm going to be a millionaire. And like, possibly that's true, but you know, you definitely going to have to put in some work. So it's not about just starting something and then boom, money, just you're a millionaire. Like, you know, you had to, that's common sense, that like, okay, I'm probably going to have to put in some type of work before I get to that status, and quite a bit of work, most likely, even if it's a relationship as well. And I feel like, because you guys keep getting like things that you're reading is talking about you being upfront and honest, being honest about your intentions, and like not cheating nobody, not cheating on nobody, like, you know, having integrity in your business, not cutting corners, not having cheap ass products and then trying to sell it for expensive, or like, yeah, I just feel like that's, and that probably has something to do with too, like your day-to-day communication, because Saturn and Pluto is in there. So that's transforming how you communicate as a person. And that's also with Saturn there, wants to make it more solid, like how you communicate with other people, how you think as well. It wants you to be more solid and responsible about how you think and what you do. I just feel like that's a lesson for you guys right now. Like, you really need to just start being honest with people, like being upfront, being I don't, I don't know who this. I feel bad because I feel like I'm just like, you know, coming down on y'all, but like for whoever this was, like, you know that you was being a shady person before, and you was being like whatever type of person you was, and it's just like that has to change now, especially coming into 2020. Like, you're gonna have to start being more responsible with your thoughts and with your actions and how you communicate with people and what you do in this world. Because I also do feel like you guys have a lot of different creative ideas. You have creative ideas. You have stuff that you want to start. And it's time to appreciate that about yourself. Appreciate that you have. And first of all, listen, the universe is trying to give you an opportunity to express them ideas, to start these businesses, to go on these trips, or whatever it is that you want to do that would make you prosperous. It's really time for that. It's time for you to take that. The universe is literally giving you at least one opportunity, but probably multiple opportunities for you to do this. And you'll know, like, you'll know what it is. Like, you've been really wanting to open up a business or a shop or something, and then it's just like all of a sudden you have time, or you have the money, or you have some type of resources to be able to do it. And I feel like it's up for you guys to just take it. It's up for the taking if you are willing to go after it. Maybe you haven't been really feeling confident. Maybe this has something to do with your insecurities. Like, you haven't felt confident enough to, like, you know, go after that thing, start that business, or start that project, or take that job, or apply for that job, or get at that person, or start that relationship. But it's like, you guys got what you need. Maybe you do need a little bit work on your confidence, but I feel like you got what you need, and you got the willpower to do it. It's really inside of you if you allow it to come out. So maybe some of you guys need to work with your so what is that? Your solar plexus chakra and your sacral chakra. So the second and the third chakra, look up what that is. Solar plexus chakra and sacral chakra. Because some of you guys need to work with that energy and work with healing that energy, or healing those blocks in that area. Because I feel like you guys need to be focused on building some security for your life. I feel like up until now, I don't know what y'all been doing, but you need to focus on building security in your life. Like I said, either if it's through a business, financially, emotionally, relationships wise, it's really time for that. I also see that some of you guys, so I think with Saturn and Pluto in your third house, and now Jupiter came into there, like, Saturn was basically trying to get you more serious, get you to be more serious about how you communicate, or be more responsible, not serious, about how you communicate. And Pluto is like transformation, because you guys are ruled by the planet of Pluto anyway. And basically, like, you know, that's like if somebody was one way, you've always known somebody to be one way, and now they're completely different. Like, they are transformed, they're a different type of person. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion. So I feel like a lot of you guys have had a lot of different new type of ideas, new type of philosophies, ideas, new types of ways of thinking, or you just want to communicate in a different kind of way. And I feel like for some of you guys, it's like getting in touch with your childlike energy. Like, you know, the way that you communicate with people is just different now. Like, maybe it was more serious before, and now you need to be less serious or something like that. Like, you need to communicate more fun, like, you know. And for others, you were just like, this is you living in your truth by communicating with your childlike energy. So whatever it is, I feel like it's something fun, something that you really like, something that you would have liked to do if you was a kid. Like, I'm a skateboard, like, you just like to be a skateboarder or something like that. And it's just like, you felt like up until now, like, oh man, I can't really do that. Like, you really can do that. Whatever you do, like, it don't have to be something serious. It just has to be something that you actually want to do, and then you follow your heart. But then you just keep on doing it. So that's like, you start skateboarding, and then it's like, oh man, I'm not so good at this, and then you stop that and do something else. Like, no, okay, well, you actually need to stick with that thing, because you can become a lot better at it, because Saturn also wants you to master something. Pluto wants you to transform how you are as a person, or how you communicate, or how you think, if it's in your third house. And then, you know, like, the third house is ruled by Gemini. Geminis like to have fun too. For some of you, I just feel like it's something like you're a funny person and you need to communicate your jokes, like your funny ideas and stuff like that. You need to actually like make this a thing, even though it's like, it's not serious, but you need to start getting more serious about doing it. I also see that, yeah, because you guys got 3 aces. 3 aces. So like, there's a lot of new starts for you guys. The universe is really trying to give you some things, but it's up to you to take it. There's an opportunity for something new, for and most likely it has something to do with, you know, finances, to build more finances and more stability for you, something that you would be happy with, content with. It's going to give you wisdom from the experience that you have, but it's up to you to take it. And I feel like it has something to do with you guys' creativity, like what you've creatively been wanting to do. If you've been wanting to make something or do something. And I also too feel like, because Uranus is in your 8th house, or no, Uranus is in your 7th house. So this is like your relationship. So Uranus is kind of like eccentric, outside of the box, like sudden surprises, like it just really is outside of the box. So I feel like if you can, it's just like new and different eccentric ways of how you come together with other people. So like, maybe you're like, you've got business contracts or something with people. It's just like, that's going to need to be revamped. Like, you're going to need to get a little bit creative with that, because maybe you haven't been making so much money, and it's like, now you can think of creative ways to come together and partner up with other people. I feel like, I also feel like some of you guys haven't been feeling so like good about yourself, like your worth and your value, for some of you. And maybe some of you have been feeling like this because of something that somebody else did to you. Like, you know, if sometimes when somebody breaks up with you or hurts you or says hurtful things towards you, you take it personally and you really believe it. And I feel like some of you guys have been looking at yourself as less of a person because of what other people or a person may have said or done to you. And I feel like, even though it is hard to forgive that person, that you do need to forgive that person, but you also need to forgive yourself for even believing what that person said, even though it even wasn't true. Because I feel like this has something to do with your worth and your value. Like, you just took what they said to heart and you believed it, and that changed like how you view yourself. And I feel like, just forgive them, because like, everybody at their point in their life, maybe they was being immature, but it's like, if you hold on to that, I was just talking to Libra about that. If you hold on to that energy, like, that's going to manifest within inside of you. So it's up to you to forgive them for saying that stuff to you. You know, you don't have to forget, and you don't even have to mess with that person or communicate with that person or nothing. But it's just like, forgiving people is just allowing you to allow that energy, allowing you to let that energy go, and forgiving yourself for even allowing yourself to think that you were less of a person because of something that they did or something that they said, or because they broke up with you or something, because you're not less of a person. Because I feel like it's going to help you heal. Like maybe you've been trying to heal for a while from this, and it's going to help you completely heal from that situation. I don't know what this is. Maybe somebody could have took some money from you, or somebody left you out hanging to dry, and it's just like you don't feel abundant no more is really what it is. And basically, like, I don't know what this piece of hair. Okay, you don't feel abundant anymore, and it's like you have to be resourceful. You have to start being resourceful on how, like, you can feel abundant again, like how you can take care of your business. I also feel like some of you guys, what did I say? You had Uranus. Yeah, Uranus in the 7th house. So I just feel like you guys have not been like having a lot of, some of you haven't been having friendships because you would like be around them or whatever, and it may like last for a second and you just move on to the next person because, like I said, you don't feel like you want to make yourself vulnerable in that way. But and sometimes, like, I feel like some of you guys, or for some of you, I feel like you may not want to communicate how you feel to your friends because you just don't feel like they're gonna like accept what you feel for some reason. I don't know, because I just feel like this has something to do with like you having to allow yourself to be vulnerable enough to share your feelings with people close to you. So that would be like friends, and to like stick with it, listen to them and to stick with it. But that takes, like, if you got stabbed in the back by people before, because for some of you this may be this situation, you got stabbed in the back by some people before, or they was like gossiping, and they was like, you know, whatever type of friends, really not no good type of friends, and basically like you're like, I don't fuck friends, I don't need friends no more. But like you do need friends, everybody needs friends. So it's basically like it would be a risk for you to actually share yourself in that way with a friend again. And it's like, I feel like some of you guys need to start doing that. But I feel like you guys are going to be attracted to people who are a little bit more eccentric now, who are a little bit more different. Like, you guys need to put yourself out there for friends, basically. Like, allow yourself to be vulnerable, because it's like you never will have friends again if you don't ever put yourself out there to have friends. Like, you have to stick with it. You have to, like, you know, communicate with these people consistently, like, you know, or even if it's not consistently, like, call the person up, care about the person, meet up with the person, like, you know, that's how you create friendships. It's creating a bond between people. And I feel like even though things happened in the past with other people, and I don't feel like it's the same people, I feel like this is new people, but I feel like you just need to put yourself out there again and allow yourself to be vulnerable enough, like have that courage to be able to have friends again, because I feel like there are people out there who really will be cool with you, who really can who will understand you and be there for you and have your back. But now this is another thing, like what I'm saying, the energy you give out is the energy you get back, because if you putting out that shady type of energy, you're going to attract shady type of people. So your intentions before you meet people, you know, like, you're going to need to work on your intentions. So if you are putting out that unstable energy or whatever, that's what type of friends you're going to attract. If you putting out like you just want to attract fun friends, or you putting out you want to attract fun but stable friends or whatever, you had to be that first. You had to have the intention of being that type of person, and then you will attract those type of people as well. I also see that some of you guys need to you just need to find new ways to do things. So like, you need to start working smarter, not harder. This is just having something to do with your creativity. And maybe you can ask people, like, if you have an issue where you feel stuck, because I feel like it's an issue where you feel stuck. And most likely it has something to do with your work or your career or something, but it could be just like a relationship or something. It's the issue where you feel stuck, and it's like, you need to start thinking about this in a different way. You need a different perspective about this, because it's really about like putting your time and energy into something, like the least time and energy into something to produce the best results, but enough, you know, to produce results. Not overworking to get these little results or nothing like that. It's about being efficient. So I feel like some of you guys are going to start realizing how to be more efficient in your work or your relationships or whatever. Or if not, then you need to ask some people. If you feel stuck in any type of situation, if you don't feel comfortable with asking somebody, then ask God. Say a prayer, ask your spirit guides and angels, whatever you believe in as a higher power, however you believe in getting answers from something, however you've gotten your answers in the past from things, like, you know how you get answers. You'll get a synchronicity, or you'll get, signs, symbols, whatever you believe in, and however in the past that you've gotten answers, you need to ask or put it out there that you need help, because I feel like the universe will show you. Somebody will come up, or synchronicity will pop up, or something, how you can work on solving this issue. You just need a different perspective. I also see that some of you guys, I just feel like you feel stuck. And for some of you, you haven't really been making a decision. Like, you want to be wealthier, you want to be this different type of person, or you want to have this different type of lifestyle, but you just feel stuck. Like, how I'm going to do this and have this 9 to 5, how I'm going to do this and pay my bills, or how I'm going to do this and do that. And it's really about like using your intuition, because you feel stuck, but you're never actually stuck. It's just like you have to make some decisions though. And I said, like, some of you guys really just need to ask for guidance. You guys are pretty much like psychic, like Scorpios, all the Scorpios that I know, like pretty much psychic. So it's like, you need to tap into that a little bit to help you to make some decisions, because there's a way for you to accomplish what it is that you want to have. I just feel like some of y'all just need to ask for help. You guys just, I didn't even see this card over here. It says, call for help. At the bottom it says, reach out, need for backup, admit your needs. That's exactly what some of y'all need to do. Because you can't do everything on your own. Maybe you used to being that type of person, but like, that's not realistic. You can't do everything on your own. You need help sometimes. I also feel like some of you guys, okay, so something may have happened with your family. So like, unfortunately, I do not really want to say this, but I see it, so I'm going to say it. So some of you guys may have been in a marriage, and you have children with this person, and you may have cheated on this person, and now you are, you want to be back. You want your family back. And so I feel like, like, if you have to first of all stop doing that stuff. Like, if you still like stepping out on, especially if you're still married to the person, like, you're gonna need to stop cheating on them. But it's just like, you need to just really realize, like, okay, like, I didn't do what I'm supposed to do. Like, you have to admit that. You have to apologize. But I feel like you have to let go of your ways of like what you used to do. Let go of your ways, and then like, have some faith. Like, I feel like you guys do want this. Like, if you're willing to work on your marriage and you have faith that it can work, like, it can work for some of you. But you do have to let go of your ways. And I feel like some of y'all be lying. Like, some of y'all, or that's how you was in your relationship. You used to lie a lot. Like, you're going to have to let that go, because that person is going to know that you're lying, and you need to, that just is not going to work. You had to stop lying. You had to be more honest with people. Yeah, like, you really want to have your family. You really want to be back together. You want to, that's what you wish for. And it's just like, okay, so let go of your bad ways, and then, you just got to be a little bit charming. You got to be a little bit sweet talking to the person that you're trying to get back with, and spend time with them. Really spend time with them, because like, they're looking for you to be there emotionally for them. And so you're gonna need to take some time, especially around this holiday time, if this is going on, whatever. Like, spend time with your family. If your family's been broken up, that's what you need to do. You need to really spend time with your family. You need to admit what you have done. You need to let go of that type of ways, and then you need to spend time with them. And you need to, like, you know what to do when you feel like you apologizing to somebody. You're like, oh, I'm sorry, baby, I love you so much, whatever. Like, it's about being charming, really. Complimenting the person, being nice to your kids. Like, that's what you got to do, because you got to get back in their good graces because they don't feel too hot about you. So, and you need to be grateful for them. Be grateful for them, and be grateful that you have a family to even come back to, and be grateful that they even forgive you. I feel like some of you guys have been in conflict with some people. You may be letting this go now. You just feel like, I don't want to be arguing with people no more. I don't want to be having all this drama no more. Like, fuck all this because it's just too much. You letting that go. And I feel like you guys are starting to be honest. And I feel like you guys are just like, I have a choice. Like, I don't have to. It's just the way that you're communicating, because I feel like some of you guys used to communicate like, and you would take low blows at people. Like, you would just, you know, say me, like, just because they being petty don't mean that you got to be petty. Like, you realize you have a choice. Like, you could be more mature. And I feel like that has something to do with Saturn in your 3rd house. And I feel like, you know, you're finding new ways to communicate with people. You realize this, like, I don't have to be petty. Just because this person's being petty does not mean that I had to be petty. I could communicate differently, basically. It's a choice. Because they'd be like, well, she made me say this to her because she was talking crazy to me. Nobody makes you do anything. You have the power over your words, your thoughts, and your emotions. And Pluto is about power too. So I feel like Pluto in your 3rd house as well helps you realize that you have that power. And Jupiter there is basically saying, like, expand the way you think, expand the way that you communicate. You guys are just starting to realize, like, I don't have to be that way no more, which is great. Yeah, I feel like whatever it is that you've been trying to do, relationship, career, whatever, it's time to allow yourself to feel that thing. Allow yourself to be, you know, like, I don't know, like the word yielding. Like, allow yourself to yield to that energy. Allow it to be in your life. Allow the thing that you want to do, the creative project, the job, the person you want to be with, to, like, be in your life. And you feel good about it, because it's also like it's about allowing yourself to feel good. And I also, like I was saying earlier, you guys, because you guys got, look at empathy. It says empathy, if you can see it. Empathy and compassion. And it says empathy, simpatico, kindness. Some of you guys need to work on that. Work on being kind towards other people, because you never know what their situation is. Allow yourself to be enraptured in whatever it is that you love, if it's a person or a thing. For some of you guys, I feel like you might have been having some nightmares or something like that too, like at night. Something at night, like with your dreams and stuff like that, because maybe all of the stuff that you've been going through. But I feel like those are going to end soon. They're going to get back better. Okay, so I gotta hurry up and do this because I don't want the time to get too crazy. So I'm gonna pull a chakra wisdom oracle card for you guys just to wrap up the reading. I haven't been wanting the videos to be too long because I have such a hard time uploading them. So that's why I'm just like trying to hurry up now. But spirit guides and angels. Oh, okay. What information do you have for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising? Oh, hold up. A card flipped over, but it didn't pop out, so I'm not going to take it. What information do you have for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of December 2019? Just give me one moment here. Oh, Lord. Okay. I'm going to take this card because it tried to come up. Oh, no, that's a different card. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. There's like multiple cards trying to come out at once. And it's like, I can't be doing 5 cards right now. So we're going to have to get this together here. Some message for you. It's going to come out. There we go. Okay. So you guys got the soulmate card, and this deals with the root chakra. So maybe you guys need to work on that. It says grounding, vital, sexual, passionate, energized, and forceful. It said this card indicates changing old communication patterns and being open to a new way of interacting. You may no longer be able to have conversations that don't sustain your authenticity. Freedom lies ahead better than you can imagine. This says, rose without thorns. It's time to face my true feelings. It is time for him to leave her again, to use the script he always does at this point. He even knows her next line. She will say, how can you do this to me? But unexpectedly, she says, I love you. The words of the script die on his tongue. He struggles to get them out. Just a few words and he will be free, but they won't come. Suddenly, he clasps her to him. He loves her. This is true freedom he sought. To enjoy the beauty of a rose, we must risk being pricked by our inner thorns. This offers a new way to live. The best incentive to change is love. What truth am I embracing? This card indicates no longer living a lie. Speaking your truth, choosing love, freedom through transformation, resistance to commitment and unexpected outcome, new truths, authenticity, treasure, trust. Yeah, this is definitely what I was talking about, especially for a relationship. So if you guys definitely like have been not wanting to commit to a relationship because you feel like, you know, it's such a beautiful thing, but you guys even got that here. Just like this card with these little roses. I've just noticed that right now. You haven't been wanting to commit to somebody because you feel like they may hurt you, but it's like you cannot have the beauty of the rose without being pricked by the thorns. You know what I'm saying? It's basically like that's what it takes. You have to be vulnerable in order to have things. You have to risk being pricked by the thorn. That doesn't mean that you will be pricked. It's just like it's a risk. And that's also for like whatever it is that you guys are trying to do. Maybe you're scared to fail or something, but it's like that's just a risk that you have to take. But you would never have it unless you try. You have to put in that effort. You have to take those risks. It's about really living in your truth and transforming. And I said like new ways of communicating because, you know, Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter are in your third house. Living in your truth and speaking your truth and like just being authentic now. And trusting that the universe got your back. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you like the video, like the video. If you think anybody would benefit from this, go ahead and share this video. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this. Check out the description box. My social media information is down there. A donation link is also down there if you guys want to donate anything to this channel. As well as my email if you want to get a personal reading. Also, if you want to see where I got this shirt from, this is my nephew's shirt that he be making. So I really like this. It's really cute. So I'll put that link in the description box below too because these shirts are really cute. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys. So I'm sending so much love and light to you guys. And I hope you guys have a happy holiday and a happy new year. And yeah, until next time. Bye.